I originally got the Ray-Ban Meta Wayfarer smart glasses, and there was a lot that I did like about the glasses, but there were a couple of things that did kind of put me off them, and I've done a full review about the glasses and just the Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses experience in general. But there was a problem that I personally had that I know wasn't going to be an issue for a lot of people, or even the majority of people, but it was an issue that still stops me from actually using these glasses on a regular basis. And it's one of the reasons why I then ended up picking up this pair, which is the Skyler. Now, I use these glasses a lot now, and probably more than I actually use my other regular glasses. And even though the issues that I mentioned in my full review video are still issues that are still present in these glasses, because it doesn't change between the different styles. The only thing that's different is the style of the glasses, but everything else, the features, everything that you get is still the same. Because I like to wear them a lot more now, I found a way to make it work, in particular in my content creation workflow. So I'll go through that in a minute, because it's also something that could help you if you're looking at getting these but you're kind of on the fence because of some of the specs that you've seen about them. So the main problem with the Wayfarers is the fact that they were just too big for me, and they just didn't fit right around my head, around my temple, and they just kept sliding down my nose. And so I'd constantly be pushing them back up, and they were just very annoying to wear. And like I said, this is not a problem that the majority of people would have. It's just people that have a smaller head shape and just not the right fit. And so it's not something that I can really fault the glasses for, because that was just how they fit for me. But since getting the Skyler version, which fit perfectly, I have been wanting to use them a lot more, and they have been very useful to wear instead of having, say, my AirPods or using my phone. So just like I mentioned in my other video, which was the main review of the Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses, my main use for actually having any smart glasses was to be able to have a camera, but also have the speakers. Hey Meta, will it rain today?
For which city?
London.
In London today, there's 0% chance of rain with mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies.
And now that I wear these a lot more, when I get a phone call, I just use my glasses. I don't have to reach for my phone. I can keep my phone in my bag. And even if I don't even have hands to pick up my phone, then I can just use the glasses. And when I was on a phone call with somebody, I asked them if they could hear me well enough, especially as I was in quite a busy environment. And they said it sounded like I was just on my phone as usual, like if I was actually using my phone. So in terms of the actual quality of the audio and the speakers, they are very good, especially when listening to music, because that is another big reason for having the glasses. I like to just have music on while I'm going from place to place, and I can still very much hear my music whilst I'm in a busy environment as well. The other thing is listening to audiobooks, and I don't necessarily have a lot of time to actually read books. So whilst I'm again going out and about, I can just turn on an audiobook and listen to it and still fully hear everything that's being talked about. And this video isn't sponsored by Audible, but I just thought I'd mention that the app does work pretty well with the glasses. And if you are looking for an audio book app, then you can actually try out Audible for 30 days completely free, and you can actually download a book and you can keep that book as well, even after the 30-day trial period. If you didn't buy a subscription to the app, then you'd still have that book and you can still listen to the book. So it's definitely worth trying out. I've put a link in the description if you do want to try it out. The other thing with the Wayfarers, which is my fault again, it's not something to do with the glasses themselves, is that as well as them being too big, I got the sunglasses, and so again, they're not glasses that I could wear all the time, so it was another reason why I wasn't using them as much as I could have used them. Whereas with the Skyler glasses, I actually got the transition lenses, so it's the blue tint transition ones, and so that just means that if I'm indoors, then it's not tinted, it's just like normal glass. And then if I'm outdoors and it's a sunny day, then they turn into sunglasses. But because of the Wayfarers, because I knew that I wasn't actually going to keep the Wayfarers, or at least I wasn't using them as much, I didn't actually change the lenses to my prescription lenses, because usually I wear glasses, I wear prescription glasses. And so, yeah, I could have definitely changed the prescription in these, but again, the fit was still the problem. But now with the Skyler ones, I am actually thinking of putting in my actual prescription lenses and seeing if I can do that and still have them as transition lenses. I'm not sure. I think you can do that, so that would be really cool if I can. So I mentioned earlier about the camera and the issues that it has. It's not a perfect camera, but I found a workaround for it, and the biggest issue for me is the fact that it only shoots vertically. And if, like me, you do long form content, you don't just do short form, or you mainly do long form content, then it was kind of hard to try and fit that footage into my content. But the way that I've done it now to just try and work around that is to just use it as split screen footage. And the main reason that I wanted the glasses anyway for the camera was for shooting POV, so shooting behind the scenes. And so it actually works quite well. I used it like that in a video that I shot recently, and it came out quite nicely because I was showing the behind the scenes of how I was getting a shot, and then I was showing the actual shot from a different perspective as well. And so using it in that way as a split screen does work really well. You've still got the issue of the camera just not being placed quite right, because you've still got all the action happening off to one side of the frame, which I hope is something that will be addressed in a different generation of the glasses, or the next generation. But yeah, certainly just using it as split screen footage is a really good way to use it in your content if you shoot long form. So basically, all I'm saying is, if you are on the fence and you're kind of thinking, are they worth it? Are they not worth it? From having used them a lot more now, I would definitely say it wasn't a waste of money. I mean, I bought a second pair. I will sell these ones, but they definitely weren't a waste of money. And like I said, I use them a lot now. So they've become part of just my everyday wearable tech, and they are incredibly useful. So I've dropped a link in the description if you want to see the full review that I did, because there are some things in that video that I didn't talk about in this video because I didn't want to repeat myself. So it's worth checking that video out.